Actually, I'm using a fan, so I don't understand that am I audible or not. Do I need to like stop the fan or is it okay? Nobody is there. What should I do? Okay, let me just start reading, and if anybody comes, I'll ask. I hope it's clear because I'm using a mic, and as much as I know, my mic is good. Okay, so we have read up to page number 75 yesterday, and from today I'll start from page number 76. And the book we are reading is the Compound Effect book. Okay, so first the author said, hi, can you tell me that my mic is like, am I audible or not? Okay, again zero. Let's start again. So the last heading was Game Changer, 5 strategies for eliminating bad habits. And number 1, identify your triggers, where author mentioned that lots of questions that we should ask ourselves, and 4S, big force, which is who, what, where, and when, which means when we feel frustrated, what type of mood or what type of thing affects us to become unproductive, to go into that bad habit that we do. For some people it may be stress, or for some people maybe boredom. That's what author said. Next heading, page number 76. Next heading, number 2, clean house. Okay, get to scrubbing, and I mean this literally and figuratively. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, remove every drop of it from your house. Get rid of the glasses, any fancy utensils or doodads you use when you drink, and those decorative olives too. If you want to stop watching so much television at night, cancel all your cable, Netflix and other subscription services. If you are trying to curb your spending, take an evening and cancel every catalog or retail offer that flies in through your mailbox or your inbox. So you won't even need to muster the discipline to walk it from the front door to the recycle bin. If you want to eat more healthfully, clean your cupboards of all the crap. Stop buying the junk food and stop buying into the argument that it's not fair. To deny the other people in your family junk food simply because you don't want it in your life. Everyone in your family is better off without it. Don't bring it into the house. Period. Get rid of whatever enables your bad habits. So, here the author is trying to explain that if anything is in front of you, it will attract you towards that thing. Any bad habit, like social media, if you are wasting your time using reels, watching reels, and wasting your time on social media, then you must delete the app. Many people say this thing. The author of Atomic Habit, James Clear, said the same thing, and the author of Deep Work book, Cal Newport, he also says the same thing, that we should delete social media from our phone. And they use it. Alex Hermosi, he also said the same thing, and he used social media from his laptop. So whenever he's about to post something or anything related to work, then only he use social media. And one thing I must tell you, if you delete your social media account and if you use it from Chrome browser, then also your addiction will get reduced, because social media, because Instagram is like a fancy, fancy bowl that pours you all the information. But actually, if you use it from Chrome browser, it is so slow and so annoying, because I did that. I've been there, so I know. So it will it will really help you to get rid of social media, because that's very unattractive, and that's what we also learned in Atomic Habit. Make it unattractive. So social media, if you delete the apps, it will help you, and you can also delete the shopping website. Shopping applications. If you are too much into shopping, you can delete all the food delivery app. If you are too much into junk food. Hi. Welcome to my life. Okay, so that's it. Clean house, which means clean everything, that is clean house, but it's not just about house. Clean everything that is stopping you from being productive, that is attracting you towards it. And thank you for what? And that is attracting you towards the bad habits. Clean those things, remove all those things from in front of your from remove those things from your surroundings. Yeah. Next, swap it. Number 3, swap it. Look again at your list of bad habits. How can you alter them so that they are not as harmful? Question mark. Can you replace them with healthier habits? Drop kick them to altogether? Question mark. As in for good. Anyone who knows me knows that I love something sweet after a meal. That's me. Why I'm so similar with this author? Me too. Okay. If there is ice cream in the house, the something sweet turns into a triple scoop banana split with the fixing 1255 calories. Instead, I replace that bad habit with 2 Hershey's Kisses, 50 calories. And in more recent years, I've kicked the swap up a notch even further by treating myself to homemade gelatin with whipped cream, not the store bought sugar filled stuff. I'm still able to satisfy the sweet tooth without having to spend extra hour on the treadmill just to get back to even. Page number 77. Okay, so this is what I do. So I really like sweet after having a meal. So what I do is I consume dates. I know. I consume dates because it's sweet and it helps me get rid of my craving. And sometimes it's something else, like anything sweet. Uh, Maybe apple, or sometimes I drink milk. So it just satisfies my sweet tooth without having to spend an extra hour on my yoga mat. Yeah. Okay, so next we are on page number 77 page. My sister-in-law started a habit of eating crunchy and salty junk food when she watched TV. She'd crunch through a whole bag of tortilla chips with little actual awareness. Then she realized that what she really enjoyed was the crunchy sensation in her mouth. She decided to replace her bad habits with crunching on carrot and celery sticks. Okay, I don't know what is that. And raw broccoli spears. She got the same joyful satisfaction, and her FDA recommended vegetables serving at the same time. Nice. A guy who used to work for me had a bad habit of drinking 8 to 10 diet cokes a day. That's a bad habit. I suggested he replace them with low sodium. Acha, can anybody tell me, is my mic is working? Am I audible? Or is it problematic? Just let me know in the comments. whenever I ask why people left. Hello, am I audible? Can you please tell me? Okay, guys, later don't complain me that my mic is not working because I've asked two times and whenever I ask people left, I don't know why. Okay, so I suggested he replace them with low sodium carbonate water, adding fresh lemon, lime, or oranges. Your voice is not coming clearly. Okay, I have to turn off the fan then. Wait. Now, is it clear? Is it clear now? No? Why? It's supposed to. I can't do anything right now if it's not coming clearly. What else can I do? I'm using my. I also turned off the fan. You have to adjust, guys. Okay? So, where I was. Uh, he did this adding fresh lemon, limes, or oranges. He did this for about a month before realizing he didn't need the carbonation at all and switched to just plain water. Play with this and see what behaviors you can replace, delete, or swap out. It's a very good thing. So, we learned three things: clean your house, remove everything, then swap it, like change it. And first ask your first was that ask yourself the question why some or that bad habit trigger, what situation or what circumstances you know trigger those habits. Next, number 4, ease in. I live near the Pacific Ocean. Whenever I get in the water, I get my ankles acclimated first, then walk in up to my knees, then it's my waist and chest. Therefore, taking the plunge. Some people just run and dive in and get it over with. Good for them, not me. I like to ease my way in probably residual trauma from my childhood, as you'll see in the next strategy. For some of your long standing and deep rooting habits, it may be more difficult to take small steps to ease into unwinding them. You might have spent decades repeating, cementing. Page number 78. And fortifying those habits. So, it may be wise to give yourself some time to unravel them, one step at a time. A few years ago, my wife's doctor required she cut out caffeine from her diet for several months. We both love our coffee, so if she was going to have to suffer, I decided it was only fair that we do it together. We first went to 50% decaffeinated and 50% regular for a week, then 100% decaf for another week. Then Earl Grey decaf tea for a week, followed by decaf green tea. It took a month to get there, but we didn't suffer even a moment of caffeine withdrawal. No headaches, no sleepiness, no brain fog, no nothing. However, we had done old turkey. Well, I shiver at the thought. Ease in. So I guess here the author is trying to say that whatever you do, like do it with very much ease. Like the author is dietitian said his wife that you have to remove coffee from your diet. So it was difficult for someone who's having coffee all the time and who's very likely to have coffee to live without coffee. So they switched to green tea first. 50-50 they did with green tea, then they slowly progressed. So whatever you do, like for a habit change, you cannot do it overnight expecting from yourself that the habit you're doing from maybe 10 years or maybe 5 years or maybe 1 year change will change overnight. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to think like it's impossible. And if you are expecting that from yourself, then you are expecting too much, and then you feel guilty of not achieving that unrealistic goal. That's why do it with ease. Do it, replace something good. There is always an option. You just have to think about it if you are really passionate about changing your bad habits. Next, number 5, jump in. Hey, today because I am explaining, it will take time. So just stay there with me. Jump in. Number 5. Not everyone is wired the same way. Some researchers have found that it can be paradoxically easier for people to make lifestyle changes if they change many habits at once. For example, Pioneer, pioneering cardiologist Dr. Dean Ornish found he could reverse people's advanced heart disease without medication or surgery. Okay, this book is The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect book. I'm reading. Okay. He enrolled surgery dramatic lifestyle changes. He discovered they often found it easier to say goodbye to almost all their bad habits at once. He enrolled them in a training session where he substituted a very low fat diet for their fat and cholesterol rich fare. The program included exercise, getting them off their couches and walking or jogging, as well as stress reduction techniques and other heart healthy habits. Amazingly, in less than a month, these patients learned to let go of a lifetime of bad habits and embrace new ones, and they went to experience dramatic health benefits after a year. Page number 79. As a result, personally, I find this to be exception, not the rule, but you will have to figure out a strategy that works best for you. When I was a kid, my family camped at the little known spot called Lake Rollins. The lake, situated not far from the Sierras in Northern California, in, is fed from glaciers that melt from atop the mountains of Lake Tahoe. The water is ridiculously cold. Every day we were there, my dad insisted that I water ski I water sky in the polar pond. All day I would be quietly anxious about the dreaded call to go in. I love to water ski. I just hated getting in the water. A slight conflict of interest because of course there was no separating one from the other. Dad made sure that I never missed my turn, sometimes by actually physically throwing me in. After a dozen of or so excruciating seconds of near hypothermia, I actually found the water refreshing and rejuvenating. My My anticipation of getting in the water was actually worse than the reality of jumping in. Once my body exclamated, water skiing was a blast, and yet I went through this cycle of dread and relief after each time. That experience isn't Unlike suddenly dropping or changing a bad habit, for a short while it may feel excruciating or at least quite comfortable, but similar to the body adjusting to a changing environment through a process called homo- homostasis. We have a similar homeostatic ability to adjust to unfamiliar behavior changes. And usually, we are able to regulate ourselves psychologically and physiologically to the new circumstances quite quickly. Sometimes wearing in won't do. Sometimes you really do have to jump in full force. Ask yourself now, where can I start slow and hold myself accountable, and where do I need page number 80, where do I need to take the bigger leap? Question mark. Where have I been avoiding pain or discomfort when I know deep down that I'll adapt it in no time if I just go for it? Okay. One of my former partners has a brother who was a beer guzzling, bar brawling, life of the party alcoholic. He drank at lunch, dinner, after dinner, and all weekend long. One day he was at the wedding for a former college roommate when he saw his friend's brother, who was 10 years older than both of them but looked 10 years younger. He watched the man dance, laugh, and play during the wedding, excluding vitality he didn't felt in many years. He made a decision on the spot that he would never touch a drop of alcohol again. Cold turkey. And that was it. Never again. And he hasn't since some now some 15 years later. When it comes to changing bad habits at home, I'm toe dipper. But in my professional life, I find that taking the big plunge is far more effective, whether committing to a new business or dealing with potential new clients, partners, or investors. Toe deeping usually doesn't cut it. Each time I think of Lake Rollins and know it will. Painful at first, but I remember that within little time I'll be exhilarating and well worth the time, the temporary discomfort. Okay. So, Dia Das, hello Didi. Hi. Okay. So this part is author is trying to say that sometimes we know that if we do some sort of task, maybe it seems to be very difficult first, but we know deep inside that if we do it, we'll do it, we can easily do it. But just because of the fear, there is a fear that okay, if we start doing this, like the fear of doing anything for the first time, adjusting in a new situation, right? You are Bengali? Yes, yes, I am Bengali. So yeah, that's it. Next chapter. I think it's over. I think 5 jump in, 1 2 3. So the first one was you have to find out why you get attracted to the bad habits, what situation or circumstances force you to go into those bad habits. Next was what? Next, clean your house means clean your environment, clean everything, like whatever junk. If you want to stop eating junk food and remove junk food from your house, or if you want to get rid of social media, then delete social media applications. If you want to get rid of shopping and all, then delete all the shopping apps. In short, I've already explained. And then swap it, like change it with something healthy. Then ease in means make it very easy. You don't have to be harsh on yourself all the time. There are other alternatives as well. এটা কি পড়ছো? এটা হলো The compound effect. The compound effect book. Then last, jump in means you sometimes you have to jump with full force. And because we know that we can do it, it's worth it. Next, page number 80, last para. Run a wise check. I'm not suggesting you cut out every bad thing in your life. Most most everything is good in modernization, but how can you tell whether a bad habit is becoming the boss of you? Question mark. I believe in testing my vices. Every so often I go on a vice fast. I pick one vice and check to be sure. I'm still the alpha dog in our relationship. My vices are coffee, ice cream, wine, and movies. I already told you about my ice cream obsession when it comes to wine. I want to be sure I am enjoying a glass and celebrating the day, not drowning a bad mood. Kun class. I mean, I'm doing B.Ed. It's funny. Kun class. Okay, I'm. Okay. When it comes to wine, I want to be sure I'm enjoying a glass and celebrating the day, not drowning a bad mood. About every 3 months, I pick one vice and abstain for 30 days. This probably stems from my Catholic Lent upbringing. Thank you. ধন্যবাদ. পারি না শিখে যাবে, অসুবিধা নেই. I love proving to myself that I'm still in charge. Try this yourself. Pick a wise something, do in moderation, but you know doesn't contribute to your highest good, and take yourself on a 30-day wagon run. If you find it seriously difficult to abstain for those 30 days, you may have found a habit worth cutting out of your life. Okay, let me read it again. Every 3 months, wise and abstain for 30 days. I love proving to myself that I'm still in charge. Try this yourself. Pick a wise something you do in moderation, but you know doesn't contribute to your highest good, and take yourself on a 30-day vegan run. If you find it seriously difficult to abstain for those 30 days, you may have found a habit worth cutting out of your life. But practice করি তো হয় না কেন? I'll try to reply this in English. This is not possible. If you are practicing it and it's not happening, this is not true. You have to practice accordingly. Like you have to watch to English lectures as well. Like you can listen to news, you can listen to those fluent speaker of English, you can watch American accent people, you can watch Jordan Peterson, you can watch Jim Rohn and all those inspirational speakers and learn from their accent. Try to understand how they're speaking and try to copy that for some time. Then eventually, if you practice like them, first you have to fix that in your mind how they are speaking. Then only it will come. If you don't know how to do it, how you are going to do it? যদি তুমি জানোই না প্র্যাকটিসটা কি করে করতে হবে, মানে কি করে পড়তে হবে, you don't know, then how you are going to do it? So first you have to listen to those kind of speakers who speak well, very well. Then okay, next we've already in page number 81. Game changer, 6 techniques for instilling good habits. Now that we have helped you eliminate the bad habits that are taking you in the wrong direction, we need to create new choices, behaviors, and ultimately habits that will finally take you in the direction of your grandest desires. পড়াশোনাতে মন বসছে না। Okay, I'm insisting you right now to just sit with any book that you really like to read and reduce my volume, and যতক্ষণ আমি পড়ছি you also try to read with me. It will help you. That's the also another purpose of doing this live. Eliminating a bad habit means removing something from your routine. Instilling a new, more productive habit requires an entirely different skill set. You are planting the tree, watering it, fertilizing it, and making sure it's properly rooted. Doing so takes effort, time, and practice. Here are my favorite techniques for putting good habits in place. Leadership expert John C. Maxwell said, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily." The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. According to research, it takes 300 instances of positive reinforcement to turn a habit into unconscious practice. That's almost a year of daily practice. Fortunately, as we talked about earlier, we know we have a much better I have to turn on the fan for some time. Wait. Am I audible? So we know we have a much better page number 82, much better chance of of cementing a new habit into our lives after 3 weeks of diligent focus. That means that if we bring special attention to a new habit daily for the first 3 weeks, we have a far better chance of making it a lifelong practice. The truth is, you can change a habit in a second, or you can still be trying to break it after 10 long years. The first time you touched a hot stove, you instantly knew you would never make that habit. The shock and pain were so intense that they forever changed your awareness. You you would be conscious for the rest of your life around hot stoves. The key is staying aware. If you really want to maintain a good habit, make sure you pay attention to it at least once a day, and you are far more likely to succeed. Okay. Number 1 point, set yourself to be succeeded. Set yourself up to succeed. Set yourself up to succeed. Number 1 point, any new habit has to work inside your life and lifestyle. If you join a gym that's 20 miles away, you won't go. If you were a night owl but the gym closes at 6 p.m., it won't work for you. Your gym must be close and convenient and fit into your schedule. If you want to lose weight and eat healthier, make sure your fridge and pantry are stocked with healthy options. Want to make sure you don't binge or on vending machine snacks when you get midday hunger pangs? Keep nuts and healthy snacks in your desk drawer. The easiest and most tempting type of food to grab when you are hungry are empty carbs. One strategy I used to have protein on hand. I grill up a bunch of protein on Sundays and package it and have it ready for a week. One of the most distracting and destructive habits is my email addiction. Seriously, this is no laughing matter. I can. Page number 83. I can lose hours of focus every day with the massive amounts of email flooding my inbox. I am not vigilant about staying organized and focused. To set up the discipline of my new habit of only checking email 3 times a day, I turned off all alarms, all automatic receive functions, and shut the program down when I'm not in one of those three windows allocated time. I have to build the walls around the time vortex lest I keep falling in all day. Number two, think addition, not subtraction. I picked up a great tip spending time with former talk show host Montel Williams. He told me about the strict diet he maintains because of the disease that afflicts him, multiple multiple sclerosis. Montel has adopted something called the add-in principle, and I think it's wildly effective tool for anyone with any goal. It's not so much what you attempt to take out of your diet. He explained to me. It's not so much what you attempt to take out of your diet, he explained to me, it's what you put in instead. This has become his analogy for life. Can't eat a hamburger, chocolate, or dairy. He thinks about what he can have instead. Example: today I am going to have a salad and steamed vegetables and fresh figs. He fills his focus and his belly with what he can have, so he no longer has attention or hunger for what he can't. Instead of focusing on what he has to sacrifice, Montel thinks about what he gets to add in. The result is a lot more powerful. A friend of mine wanted a friend of mine wanted to break his bad habit of wasting too much time watching TV. To help out, I asked him what he'd like to do with 3 hours of free time if he had it. He said, page number 84, he would play with his kids more. I also asked him to pick a hobby he'd always wanted to explore. His choice was photography, a total techie. He went out and got all this high-tech editing equipment, which he happily toted along on more family outings so he could take great photos of his kids. Then he'd spend hours in the evening editing and putting together the slideshows and photo albums for the whole family to enjoy. They ended up something they ended up spending time together, laughing and remembering how much fun they'd had because he was so focused on his kids and photography he no longer had the time not the desire to sit around and watch TV at night. He realized he'd been zoning out on it because it was an easy mental escape from his workday. By replacing TV viewing with his new habit of playing games with his kids and working on his photography hobby, he discovered passions with far more powers and far bigger payoffs. What can we choose to add in so you can enrich your life experience? Okay, I think if madam explain meaning of some words. How do I understand that? What meaning you guys need. That's also another problem. That's why after completing a para or a point, I try to explain the whole thing in short. Isn't it okay? I mean, if I explain it later after completing a paragraph, because how would I know what word should I explain? And there are many words I also don't know. I'm not lying, I don't know. Because I'm not an expert who knows every word. But if you read a whole paragraph, even if you don't understand meaning of a word, it doesn't matter. Please tell me that if I explain after completing one paragraph, isn't it enough for you to understand? What should I do? Okay, number 3. Go for a PDA, public display of accountability. Picture any public official taking the oath of office. I do solemnly swear. And then comes to speech on how she'll turn her campaign promises into books on the ground realities. Once she puts it out there on the public record, she knows that she'd be held responsible for any action that rolls back on her promises and praised for any progress toward her goals. I want to cement that new habit. Get Big Brother to watch you. It's never been easier with all the social media available. 85. I heard about one woman who decided to gain control of her finances by blogging about every penny she spent every day. She'd got her family, friends, and plenty of colleagues following her spending habits, and as a result of the many eyes of scrutiny, she'd become far more responsible and disciplined in her finances. I once helped a co-worker quit smoking by telling everyone at the company, "Listen up, Zelda's decided to stop smoking. Isn't that great?" Question mark. She was just smoked her last cigarette. I then placed a huge wall calendar on the outside of her cubicle. Every day she didn't smoke, Zelda got to draw a big fat red X on that calendar. Co-workers took notice and started to cheer her on. The parade of big red X's started to fill up the chart, which took on a life of its own. Zelda didn't want to quit on that chat, quit on her co-workers or quit on herself, but she didn't quit smoking. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell Facebook, Twitter, get the word out there. There is a sheriff in town and you're in charge. Okay? So what this para is trying to say, do it public. Like whatever habit you want to build. Like I do this. I already do this in my life. So I tell my parents that I'll do exercise. Like whenever I'll do exercise, right? So if I don't do, they taunt me. They just called me. Mostly they taunt me and it hurts. So then I start doing exercise. Like it's really effective when somebody out of nowhere says a lot of stuff to you if you don't do it effectively, and it also reminds you that yes, I'm about to do this. I told them to do this, but I'm not doing it. Okay. Next, find a success buddy. Don't you think it's same like Atomic Habits, sort of? Find a success buddy. They're like these things are kind of similar, because in Atomic Habit he also said make it satisfying and make it like he explained it in detail, but he's not explaining in that much detail. Okay, so number 4, find a success buddy. There are a few things as powerful as two people locked arm and are marching towards the same goal. To up your chances of success, get a success buddy, someone who will help you accountable as you cement in your new habit while you return the favor. For example, have what I call peak performance partner. Every Friday at 11 a.m. sharp, we have a 30-minute call during which we trade our wins, losses, fixes, ahas, and solicit the needed feedback and hold each other accountable. You might seek out a success buddy for regular walks, runs. Page number 86. Or days at the gym, or to meet to discuss trade personal development books. This is the same as Atomic Habit. The how James Clear said that there should be an accountability partner so that you will be accountable. That's why I started doing live, so that I can take you guys, keep you guys accountable. And see, I think it's day 11 or 12 that I'm reading book every single day, and I'm on page number 87 of a new book. I already completed Atomic Habit. It's actually work, and if it's alive, then it really works. You can also try the same thing, doing YouTube live and doing your stuff. It works. It's working for me. Okay. So, as I don't have any exams right now, as I don't have lots of work, so I can still go on, and I'll complete reading 15 pages today as well. Let's go. More 5 pages. Okay. Number 5, competition and camaraderie. What is it? Let's read. There's nothing like a friendly contest to whet your competitive spirit and immerse yourself in a new habit with a bang. To give an example of this, last summer I organized a consistency challenge for our 350,000 plus Daily members. We called it the 90-day Raven Run Challenge, named after the famous South Beach runner Robert Ravencroft. Raven has run 8 miles on the white sands of South Beach, Miami for more than 45 years. At the time of writing this, he had never missed a single day through hurricanes, shin slips, splints, broken bones, food poisoning, pneumonia, and more. The challenge was simple. Run at least 1 mile a day, every day for 90 days streak. Hey, if Raven can run 8 miles for 16,500 plus days and counting, you can do it for 90 days, no excuses. Admittedly, I knew many Daily members would begin the challenge, but I confess I didn't think most would finish. In fact, I bet my team that not even 10% would maintain the streak. Lack of consistency at the Achilles heel of the human species. What I didn't account for was the power of competition and the fuel of camaraderie. More than 3 times the number I predicted complete the challenge successfully. Yet, as soon as the competition was over, I was fascinated to observe that the exercise consistently dropped off the cliff by more than 60% only 1 month after the competition. When we organized another competition, the engagement and consistency shoot right back up. Page number 87. All it takes is a little competition to keep people's engines revved, and they also get a shared experience, a wonderful sense of community and fun camaraderie in the bargain. What kind of friendly competition can you organize with your friends, colleagues, or teammates? How can you inject fun rivalry and competitive spirit into your new habit? So here author is trying to say that you try doing a friendly competition with any of your friend, like in a like it's fun. That's just do a competition that let's see how many pages can you read in a week, how many books can you complete in a week, things like that. Like author did a challenge in his website of running for 30 for 90 days, and everyone did, and when the competition was over everyone stopped. So if you have someone you can compete with your same goals, and they also want to adopt a new habit and want to change, then take you can take them accountable, or you can do competition with them. Next, celebrate. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy, and it's a recipe of backsliding. There should be a time to celebrate and enjoy some of the fruits of your victories along the way. You can't go through the thing sacrificing yourself with no benefit. You've got to find little reward to give yourself every month, every week, every day. Even something small to acknowledge that you've held yourself to a new behavior. Maybe time to yourself to take a walk, or relax in the bath, or read something just for fun. For bigger milestone, book a massage or have a dinner at your favorite restaurant. Promise yourself a nice big pot of gold when you reach the end of the rainbow. Next heading. Oh, okay. 6 number, celebrate. Whatever you achieve, you should celebrate it. Jim Rohn says, we can grow from two experiences: the pain of losing and the joy of winning. And when you celebrate you celebrate the joy of your winning, which help you to stay consistent in your journey, because it makes it interesting. Plus you will feel like, oh, I have achieved something great. Yeah, because it's important to celebrate. Change is hard. Next heading, change is hard. Yippee! There is one thing that 99% of failures and successful folks have in common. They all hate doing the same things. The difference is successful people do them anyway. Change is hard. That's why people don't transform their bad habits, and why so many people end up unhappy and unhealthy. What excites me about this reality, however, is that if change were easy and everyone were doing it, it would be much more difficult for you and me to stand out. So, what the author is saying is change is hard. So, this is the simple the common thing about successful and unsuccessful people is that both kind of people hate the same thing, but successful people do it anyway, no matter they hate it or they like it. But unsuccessful people stop doing it because it's not easy, it's hard. And the author is saying yippee, because he thinks if it's easy, then everyone would have done that, and that would be so difficult to stand out. Stand out and become an extraordinary success. Ordinary is easy. Extraordinary is what will separate you from the crowd. Personally, I'm always happy when something is hard. Why? Because I know that most people won't do what it takes. Therefore, it will be easier for me to step in front of the pack and take the lead. I love what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said so eloquently, quoted, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands of times of challenge." Quote over. When you press on despite difficulty, tedium and hardship, that's when you earn your improvement and gain strides on the competition. If it's hard, awkward, or tedious, so be it. Just do it and keep doing it, and the magic of compound effect will reward you handsomely. So, the author is saying, even if it is difficult, keep doing it. Like Sunil Chetty said, if you are tired, keep doing it. If you are sad, keep doing it. If somebody is uh, not good in your house, keep doing it. If you are like whatever you are feeling, keep doing it. And even if it's hard, keep doing it. And Jim Rohn also said, if it's hard, do it hard. If it's easy, do it easy. But just get it done. Okay, next, be patient. When it comes to breaking old habits and starting new ones, remember to be patient with yourself. If you've spent 20, 30 or 40 years or more repeating the behaviors you are now trying to change, you have to expect it's going to take time and effort before you see lasting results. Science shows that patterns of thoughts and action repeated many times create what's called a neurosignature or brain groove. This is a series of interconnection neurons that carry the thought patterns of particular habit. Attention feeds the habit. When we give our attention to a habit, we activate the brain groove, releasing the thoughts, desires, and action related to the habit. Luckily, our brains are malleable. If we stop giving attention to a bad habit, these grooves wakens. When we form new habits, we drive new grooves deeper with each repetition, eventually overpowering the previous ones. Page number 89. Creating new habits and burning new grooves into your brain will take time. Be patient with yourself. If you fall off the wagon, brush yourself off. Don't beat yourself up and get back on. No problem. We all stumble. Just go again and try another strategy. Reinforce your commitment and consistency. When you press on, you will receive huge payoffs. Speaking of payoffs, the next chapter is where you really start breaking away away from the herd. This is where the multiplying effect really takes shape. With all the disciplines effort you've applied from the fundamentals of the first 3 chapters, what's coming up next is where you get rewarded big time. Page number 90 is the summary of the chapter, and by this we've already completed 15 pages of reading. Yay! 90 pages. Great progress. More 60. I think then in a week we'll complete reading this book too. And then I'm thinking of making a summary. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. So we've done reading 15 pages. Should I explain this? Okay, let me just explain the summary as well. Put the compound effect to work for you. This is the heading: Summary Action Steps. Number 1. Identify your 3 best habits, those that support your most important goals. Number 2. Identify your 3 bad habits that take you off course from your most important goals. Number 3. Identify 3 new habits you need to develop to put yourself on track toward the most important goal. Number 4. Identify your core motivation. Discover what gets you fired and keeps you fired up to achieve big results. Next, find your why power. Design your concise, compelling, and aware inspirational goals. Next, use living your best year. Have a proven system for achieving big goals to guide you through the designing and technique. This is something author is promoting his business. Okay. So we've done page number 90. Let's see you tomorrow. 15 pages over. Bye bye. Good night. Thank you for being with me. Bye bye. Good night.